We are atop the main administrative building in Norfolk, Virginia, Naval Supply Center.
The largest supply center in the world. Right now we're at Pier 4, which is a stevedore operation, which IAM is involved.
We are at the Naval Aviation Depot in Norfolk, Virginia. The employees here at the Naval Aviation Depot are responsible for the overhaul and the repair of the F-14 and the A-6 aircraft.
We have approximately 2,800 employees here, and of that 2,800 employees here, 850 of them are machinists.
We're right across from the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in Bremerton, Washington. We represent some 3,000 employees at the shipyard. But in the area, we also represent the Trident Refit Facility, which has some 1,400 employees, the Strategic Weapons Facility Pacific, which has some 400 employees, the Trident Training Facility, and also the Submarine Base Bangor. We also represent some 3,500 people at the Naval Undersea Warfare Engineering Station.
IAM members are involved in almost every phase of Keyport's activities, from secretarial work to the people that actually build the torpedoes, to people that do computer work, testing, people that work in the shop as welders, machinists, almost every aspect.
I assemble and disassemble and test these torpedoes for fleet use for the U.S. Navy.
You know that in the federal sector there are so many laws, rules, and regulations. We all know that because we dealt with the government for years. We know those rules and regulations, and we're better able and more qualified to handle those problems. We have people that have trained for years, know those regulations, and also know the contract well. Employees can go on their own, but 98% of the time they lose their own grievances. And they don't have the right to go to arbitration. Only the union has that right.
My name is Karen Quigg. I work for Naval Undersea Warfare Engineering Station, which is a government installation. I've worked here for 5 years, and 3 years of it I was fighting a grievance, a union grievance.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Karen, when she came to us, she was almost at the point in just going out the gate. We talked to her, listened to her problem, saw that she had a legitimate concern. We convinced her that it was time to stand up and go through the procedure.
I was removed from my work area that I was in, and they accused me of things that I didn't do. And the union here fought for me tooth and nail for like 2.5 years.
We went over her case. We presented it. It took some long time because of the rules and regulations that were there, and we won that case for her.
The future's looking up now that I won my grievance. It's looking up. Things are going good. People respect me. People understand that I wasn't guilty of what they accused me of. If it wasn't for the union, I wouldn't be here today at Keyport, Washington.
Everyone in the federal sector benefits by what we do as a union.
A couple of years ago, I won a case for a couple of the brothers in IAM in the sum of $225,000 roughly. We are now involved in getting leave and back pay for intermittent employees who have been here for 3 or 4 years, and we're entitled to the leave, and we're never given that leave. And we have won the cases. We are involved in implementing that now.
One of the things in which the Machinists Union has done for me throughout my working career, it has given me respect and has given me dignity on the job. It has provided a decent education for my children, and I am proud that I'm here to see the 100th anniversary of the Machinists Union, and I just hope that I can give back some of those things to the Machinists Union, which it has given me.
The last benefit that federal employees received was a 5-step system. And that was because the union supported that, and we went to put that together with our congressman. It was passed on the floor, and since that time we've had a 5-step system.
You know, many of the federal employees we represent are treated as second-class citizens because they can't get involved politically. And of course, politics is their whole life.
If you're a member of the union, what you're doing is supporting our lobbyists and giving the congressman the knowledge that, hey, they are organized out there and they do mean something, and I've got to run every 4 years. And if we're solid and they can see that our membership is solid, they're going to support us a lot more on that legislation.
Over 3 million federal workers and their families have been waiting many years to have this legislation enacted. It will give them a freedom of right to become involved in legislation that affects everything they do every day, every minute.
Dorothy, I will support that when it comes over. We will help with getting other co-sponsors and other senators to assist, because this is something that people deserve to have rapidly moved in the Senate. I believe in it. I think we ought to have it.
Well, thank you very much, Senator.
Managers, as well as the captain, anybody else on that base is going to benefit, because by law, most of those people cannot go to Congress and appeal to them to help get their jobs done. So what we do is we go back there and lobby for them. Anything that we get, they get. I've worked in the federal sector for 17 years before I became a business representative, and I've always looked for something where we could get more information to our members on legislation that is trying to be passed in the Congress. In the past, we've always seen that we get the information 4 months later, 3 months later, and never been able to react to what's going on in the committees. With Legislate, we're going to have within 24 hours, we'll be able to tell what kind of legislation is being introduced, where the committee meetings are going to be, and at that time, we'll be able to react very quickly and get it out to our members and have them write or get a hold of their congressmen or senators and try to get that turned around before it can hurt us.
People are seeing things being done and accomplished by IAM and AW, and they are joining up. So the doubters are now becoming believers, and IAM is really on the roll now. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Because we stand for one another, working for one another, together collectively.
The only way to survive in this world is really have someone to protect you. They're like a lawyer. They protect you. Any problems that you have, pay your money and belong.
I like to see a strong America, and I think with the union that's our best bet. Go with the union and put out quality work in a safe manner.
They have given me a lot over the years. I can remember the first time that I went to a union steward and had a problem, and I was given all the help in the world. I know that I would never won that case, and that made me dedicated to the union at that time. So I became a steward shortly after that, and since then I've worked my way up until I'm a special representative at this time. The International has always supported me, and I know they've supported the people that I've worked with. 100 years is a long time for a labor organization. And they've been doing a super job all that time, and I feel that, 100 years is something that we can all be proud of, that we've represented people and done a tremendous job, and we're going to do another 100 years for sure.